Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, by the way, this is episode 611. That's right. Moving on up. That's right. We are it's crazy how it's 611 shows, man. It goes by really fast. But on today's conversation, I'm thrilled to welcome back my bro Adam Tomlin, host of the Act Out podcast. We're gonna start something new here, really with both our programs. We're gonna start a segment we call Around the Block. Okay, different views, same neighborhood. Why we call it that? Because look, we're from the same neighborhood, right? We are two of a kind. We don't always agree, but we respect each other, and we agree for the most part, but we do have our differences, like majority of America, right? We are trying to encourage not only just great conversation, but hey, agree to disagree. We live in a world now, we're so divisive, and it's like folks don't even want to sit down and have the conversation. And when you come across, or when you say like, hey, look, I have friends on the right, or I have friends on the left, everyone's like, oh, really? How does that work? How do you look? I'm not saying it's easy, but it's just a form of like, hey, look, you have to get their mindset of exactly, okay, why do you vote this way, or why do you have this value, or why is this one of your values? So yeah, we're hoping to grow this new segment again, and we're going to be kind of cross promoting it. I'll do it from time to time on my program. I'll also join him on his platform, again, the Act Out podcast, which I hope you all are subscribed. If you haven't done so yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Please subscribe to it. It's an awesome show. I tune into it regularly, and yeah, it's dope. So I'm excited to have him on because we're gonna kind of catch up on some stuff. We're gonna catch up on the UFC Freedom 250 event that was held again on the 250th day of the anniversary of America. Also was held on Donald Trump's birthday. It's funny. So I almost had like an old man moment. I have not done IG live in like forever, right? I used to do it pretty often when I was a young rookie content creator, and that was like the way to do it, right? Do IG live and you're gonna shoot on up. Yeah, that never happened. So I'm like, man, F this. I'm not doing IG live anymore. So I just stopped. But because I have friends that are also content creators, and they're growing their platforms, like just growing it, I'm like, well, let me go ahead and go back on IG live, man, because it's just it was a weekend. It was the day of the UFC. It was the day of UFC 250, and I'm like, let me hit up my boy Adam and see what he's doing, man, and get on IG. So we had this great conversation about this event, and we spoke on a number of things, man. Actually, no, it was I think it was titled 250 year anniversary. Has the country really, or have we grown as a country, something like that. And we did it for maybe close to an hour. It could have been longer, because one thing, Adam and I, we're long-winded dudes, so we will lose track of time when we're talking. It could be like 5 hours. And we're like, oh man, I thought it was just like 30 minutes. But after we finished it, I'm like, okay, boom, let me post this up. And I'm like, okay, hit that, bam, bam, bam. And then I'm like, crickets, after that, like, where is it? Okay, maybe it's here. Wait, where is it? And then I started having like the old man, like, put on the glasses, like, where is this? No, that's not it. So long story short, I accidentally deleted it. Didn't know. I accidentally deleted a great conversation that could have took us to the big top, Adam. All right, well, that could have really been the pinnacle of our career, and I ruined it. That's how I felt. I felt awful. So we're hoping to give you a little glimpse of that here on today's show. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the UFC event because a number of things happen there. Also, being a Virginia native here in the Commonwealth, we're having this huge battle over data centers, right? The Democratic Party is split. It's a disconnect between two of the most powerful women here in the state of Virginia. You have the new Madam Governor in Abigail Spanberger, and you have Senator Pro Tempore and Chair of the Finance Committee, Senator Luis Lucas, who's not seeing eye to eye with this data center battle. So we're going to talk about that. Also in the sports world, the Williams sisters are back. Wow, I did not think I was ever going to, share that on the show. Serena Williams and Venus Williams will be teaming up again for doubles in Wimbledon. As you all know, Serena Williams came out of retirement after 4 years. And when she her first match, which I believe she won, which it was a doubles competition. So excited to see that as well. And I think we have a couple other things. I'm blanking on it, but yes, I want to get Adam's take on Elon Musk being the first ever trillionaire. Ooh, because we all know, look, Adam's a friend of the show. We know Adam's take when it comes to folks with high wealth. I'm talking billionaire status, but now trillionaire. Ooh, I'm gonna be scared to hear Adam's comments. I hope he keeps it clean, y'all. I hope he keeps it clean. But y'all, as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, tuning into yet another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. You know we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. So iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. We're available on all podcast platforms. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our fam. Let's start off with KSHP out in Las Vegas. KSHP Week, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, Fridays on KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM, Las Vegas. And then lastly, we're going to head over to New Orleans to WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that is 7 p.m. Central Time, WBOK 1230 AM, What New Orleans is talking about. And of course, my friends, if you have not done so yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this video right now, give us a thumbs up. That helps with our algorithm. But also subscribe to the channel because it will keep you up to speed of what's going on in all of our great content that we put up. We have a goal to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We gain in new subscribers each and every day. So we want to keep that momentum, but we would love to hit 5,000 subscribers. If we surpass that, I'm grateful for that as well. What else? So yeah, share with the friends, share with family. I truly appreciate that. And that's all I got for you. So I'm gonna pay some bills, take a breather. When we get back, I'm gonna bring on my good friend Adam Tomlin, again, host of the Act Out podcast. Do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new GOAT verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GOATverse TV.
GOATverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, without further ado, the wait is over. You know who's waiting backstage so patiently and digitally. The one, the only, Adam Tomlin of the Act Up Podcast. Adam, how you doing, my friend?
You know, man, I'm doing okay, but I consider myself a man of distinction. So I know one of the first things I'm going to be doing after this podcast recording, and that's going on Rugged Evolution and getting some nice beard care products.
Hey, all you had to do was ask, buddy, but we do take cards, Venmo. No, I'm joking.
How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Can't complain. It's been a day, but I'm always hyped when I get to have the opportunity to, to chop it up on the show, especially when I, bring on a good friend like like yourself on. So I'm hype. I'm feeling good. But man, it's been a lot of news that has just been head scratches for me. Like it's been some head scratches. Like, what? Wait, huh? What? And it's just been like that. I think I'm trying not to stress myself out, right? Because I mean, you hear a lot of folks say, don't watch the news because it raised my pressure up and stuff like that. And I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, you have to be informed. Like it's like everybody loves to be comfortable and feel good. Who doesn't? I love to feel stress free. But I'm also a news buff. I'm either reading a bunch of articles or I'm watching a bunch of news. I have a day where it's like, okay, I'm watching this from this time slot to this time slot. I'm weird like that. I'm weird like that. I actually have that like in my head. I don't actually have it on the schedule, but I will. Okay, boom, I'll watch this and do something like that.
I have had such a hard time with that because you're right. Like you talk about the kind of conundrum very well. Like you can either be very informed and your nervous system constantly, like feeling a sense of anxiety, or you can be completely ignorant. That kind of, I would say that's a false dichotomy because there's a happy medium there. What I try to do, I try to be very intentional now whenever I look at social media and news sources because every time I pull them up, like I can, my heart rate starts to beat more. I can feel like my palms are like getting sweat and like my shoulders are tense. Like I can tell I am having a like physiological reaction to this. So I try to like break it down into segments, and that way I am ignorant, but I was always going to be ignorant anyway.
Hey, I mean, it's just that's what brings us together, man. I mean, we're both the same way. I think and I mentioned with our with the listeners, we're going to be starting a new joint segment called Around the Block, and I just the name is dope. Around the Block, different views, save neighborhood, and I feel like people can always expand that more because that's just everyday life. Like in our own neighborhoods, we know for sure that hey, if I knock next door, my next door neighbor probably doesn't agree with my politics, or this neighbor on the opposite side probably does. Like we all, you're still in one neighborhood, like the United States, for example, one neighborhood. This is one neighborhood, but filled with different views. So we're hoping to, build up this segment so that we can just kind of, I guess, help bridge the division gap that we see, and just really just bring people to the table and just, again, pull up a chair, sit down, have a conversation. So I'm excited because the theme or the title of this episode will be basically like Around the Block episode 1, and we're gonna continue to always increase it until we see where it takes us, man.
Whenever you and I would discuss doing something together, I have a blast every time I record with you. So obviously that was going to be a yes. But as soon as you're like, hey, what do you think about Around the Block? I thought that was just a perfect encapsulation of of what we're trying to do. You're right. We'll kind of bring the audience in backstage. Arrington and I are literal neighbors. We're Hampton Roads natives. But more than that, though, I think that what is so exciting about this is one of the first times where you can have a legitimate debate with somebody and see two maybe different opinions here and there, but being very respectful with each other and kind of working towards common ground and building a solution together. So I think that this is going to be something that it's not offered anywhere else.
Yeah, I look at it, folks, as I will be at some point Adam's translator to conservatives. I will there's going to be a moment. I know because we're going to have a conservative on, and Adam's going to be like, so what Adam is explaining here, I'm going to be the silent, I'm going to be the interpreter. I'm going to be.
Why do you want Arrington's vote to only count 3/5 of yours? Why?
Oh man, it's going to be fun though. It's going to be fun, man. Let's start off with this first story, because I know this was definitely going to be one to really I wouldn't say well, it would upset you, but also I knew this was a great starter story. So I want to talk a little bit about Elon Musk. So recently Elon Musk was he was, let me see if I can I, oh no, there we go. Let me do this way there we go, back to that. So Elon Musk was named the first ever trillionaire with a capital
picture with that,
with a capital T, a trillionaire. So let me kind of just break it down for you, because I did speak on it before when it was first announced on the show. But once SpaceX begins trading on NASDAQ, it helped him become the first ever trillionaire. I think it was opened at $150 per share on NASDAQ, and he is now worth I think it's $1.1 trillion. I'm kind of looking at the math of how it's kind of always, because his stake from Tesla is worth 280 billion, SpaceX worth more than 766 billion. I feel like I'm missing another one here. I'm missing some more billions. I'm short a billion, I think, Adam. I think I'm short a billion or something.
X. From X?
All those. So first ever trillionaire. Now Adam and I, which I totally understand Adam's perspective, but we didn't agree on as far as the whole notion of no billionaires being there. Should be a world with no billionaires. Now I'll be honest, I don't know how I'm going to defend the trillionaire one. I don't know how I'm going to defend that trillionaire one, because that trillionaire one is like, I mean, I don't even know how. The man's not even 60, and it's like I never ever trillionaire status to me is like, I believe it, we got aliens, or I believe it, I've seen Bigfoot. It's something that is very abnormal.
Yeah.
And so first ever trillionaire, man. I mean, when you heard about this in the news, what was your initial mindset? Oh, and by the way, we got to keep it clean.
I remember we're on radio. Well, Elon Musk may be a trillionaire, but somehow he still looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. So I don't really know how like he's gonna like
not spending the money wisely. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, exactly. Oh man, I forgot we're on radio. No, he does not spend his money wisely. He wastes it, and we can talk about that on the After Hours show. Whenever I was growing up, I had this notion of the American dream that if you worked hard enough and you had a dream, you could achieve anything you wanted. On its face, you could see that Elon Musk getting to that coveted status of trillionaire is just sort of like as the oomph of the American dream, and it's like sort of the cherry on top. And it's like, hey, we've just shown it. You can get here. But what happens, or what you can tell though, is it's juxtaposed with people who are barely making ends meet, having to work 3 and 4 jobs just to try to cover daycare. And whenever you have a system like that, where you have one person with $1 trillion and then you have millions of people who are struggling to make ends meet, there's a big disconnect there, and that is a damning indictment on our system.
Yeah, I mean, and look, and like I said earlier, I'm like, billionaire status, I can somewhat, defend
Why?
Because I'll say it like this, and I use the example of athletes. We see athletes now, especially some of the young guys. I mean, there's guys that start off at 19 and 20. I mean, really, if we really go back, soccer, you could become pro at 17. Now, I'm just saying, if you have the mind, if you start off with a contract of $20 million guaranteed, right? And you're 17 years old, and you might have folks that be like, hey, look, you still got endorsements on the side. That might be added 6 figures, or it might be added millions. But I want to teach you, I want to teach you to, don't even touch a check, right? Just put it in the bank. Don't even use it. Okay. By the time that individual is 42 and you've renegotiated your contract more than 10 times, yeah, you're gonna be, you're gonna be sitting on some wealth and all these other added opportunities, multiple streams of income. I mean, if I have 5 streams of income and each of them are, successful, right? I mean, it's just, again, I look at guys like Magic Johnson, who's been a businessman for quite some time. He just became, a billionaire, overall net worth, right? So there, that's including homes, cars, this and that and the other. Jordan, Steph Curry. When I'm specifically calling out athletes because I feel as though it's a bit easier to calculate, okay, with all the added. I'm just saying, like, their talent led them to make that kind of money. I don't think it's like corruption, or it's crazy the fact that, okay, wow, they are making, like, Pat Mahomes just signed it. He became the first ever NFL player to have a contract worth $504 million. He's just 30. I'm older than that guy. And I haven't even seen. I'm barely hitting thousandaire status, man. And so it's just, and I get it.
I have dozens of dollars in my account right now.
It's like I get it. I work hard, and I totally understand the mindset of there are people that are struggling. There is such thing as systematic racism when it comes to underprivileged communities being overlooked, or certain hurdles or certain opportunities. That's why I'm all for equal opportunity. Now, equal outcome, that's going to be different. That's the way you do it. But equal opportunity, I'm all for. That's personally why I always feel as though, like, to say, like, there should be no billionaires. Well, I mean, in all honesty, man, there's folks that have worked hard, played their cards right. When I mean by playing their cards, I mean business wise. I'm not saying like, okay, I mean, look, the opportunity of is not what is who like that exists, and that can be an unfair advantage, or it can be a very fair advantage to some folks. So that's just where I stand when it comes to the whole wealth aspect. Now, as I mentioned, the trillionaire status is a bit like Jesus Christ, because see, I don't understand.
I don't even think Jesus could become a trillionaire, man.
Hey, Jesus owns everything. Okay, he owns it all. He did it all. But when it comes to stocks, man, and I've never invested in stocks. Property has always been more understanding to me, just because of my family's background and working in real estate and stuff. But where am I going with this? Oh, with the shares, right? I mean, when stocks always fluctuate. If somebody says SpaceX on TV, boom, we're shooting up. So it's weird. That to me is already kind of like, how does that work? So if they say it's crappy, then all of a sudden it goes down. Like, it's weird. Like, the only reason he became a trillionaire is because all of a sudden I guess he shot up the.
He is
a
trillionaire on paper.
He's a trillionaire,
right? Like, I mean, but that's the thing, though. Like, there is some bank or there is some computer that just has a magic number beside his name that is like, hey, this is how much money he has. But there's nothing that is like backing that. It's not like he has like $1 trillion worth of gold bars that's backing it. It is literally on paper.
So I guess my question, and a lot of folks will ask this too, is like, a lot of progressives will say again, there should be no billionaires, or we shouldn't live in a world with billionaires. Folks will disagree by saying, okay, if they worked hard enough to be successful, right? Okay, what's the issue? Now you shared exactly the reason, and may have had a perfect reason too, but then I guess the counter will be, okay, where's the proof that it might have been a bit of corruption that led them to make that kind of money? I mean, I'm just, speaking, devil's advocate.
Well, you can see it in the lack of opportunity for everybody else. It's in today's day and age now, like, and what you were kind of discussing earlier, like the athlete, and probably athlete and athletes. Star,
I was about to say movie directors because Spielberg, the gentleman behind Star Wars, Lucas, I think his name, Lucasfilm. I mean, he's definitely billionaire status.
So essentially, you're going to have one of three ways of becoming a billionaire. You can either be an athlete, an entertainer, or a nepo baby. And I find those to be kind of just arbitrary things. Yes, I'm sure all those people work hard, but people making $25,000 a year work just as hard, if not harder, than the billionaire. So I think it's a little ridiculous to say that just because somebody has more money meant that they worked harder and deserved it more than I would argue that the person making $25,000 a year deserves to make $50,000 a year before Michael Jordan deserves $25 billion.
Well, I wouldn't say again that the $20 million or I want to say the Steph Curry worked harder than Susie, who's the manager at Bank of America. Again, Susie's
the worst. Don't use her as an example.
I don't know why I even said Bank of America. I'm just using, but I'm just saying, I was about to say Johnny. I don't know why Johnny always comes to the mind too. Like, I'm bad with the names right now. Okay, I use my dog's name Carter. So if Carter decided to, he wanted to become a general manager of a bank, okay, that's his career path. They had the decision. They knew, they're aware of the salary that they will be making, and that a professional athlete knows exactly what being a pro athlete would lead them to. Now, again, you mentioned films, you mentioned athletes. I'll also throw in tech, because obviously when it comes to tech is extremely profitable. I mean, especially if you work with other overseas companies that want to invest and stuff. That's very profitable. So I wouldn't say because they're millionaires they automatically worked harder. All I'm saying is everybody is in charge of their own career path. Now, yes, it is unfair that we do live in a society where that equal opportunity is not given for everybody. We've seen that clearly under this Trump administration with the backing of diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives. You've seen the opportunity that he has prevented from minority businesses having opportunity to have their product line in like stores like Target and whatnot. So it is a systematic it is a disadvantage for folks to try and grow in their career. So that I will agree, but I'm not saying that because they're a millionaire, oh, they must have just automatically worked harder than me. I mean, it's just no, nobody can ever define everybody's work ethic. That's just going to be really hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely I do understand what you're what you're saying, and I think though that and even like we're talking about the talking about the people being able to choose their work. To a large extent, though, I don't know if that's necessarily true, though. Like you've got folks who have to make decisions based on the financial moment at the time. Like people are living, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't really have a whole lot of free will. I think people confuse free will and choice. Like just because you can make a choice doesn't really necessarily mean you have free will. I see a lot of folks getting oh man, this is going to be fun. I can tell.
No, but continue your point, bro. Continue your point.
No, but I see a lot of folks being like, oh, well, they chose this life. Not necessarily. A lot of times people are in a position because of extenuating circumstances, and they were basically just like, hey, I need to survive. I need to do this decision right here. And so it's not necessarily like, hey, I can't. You're not thinking and planning career moves whenever you're like, oh my God, if I don't have this money come in on Friday, then we're going to get evicted. So like that's why I say that having a choice doesn't equate to free will.
Yeah, I don't fully disagree with it. I hear you, but I will say, and call me the villain on this day, but
oh, I will.
A friend of mine, I'm gonna get a T-shirt in the mail that's gonna be from him and be like, villain. No, a buddy of mine, a older gentleman who had been, successful. He's had, he's been through, the slumps and built himself back up, back and forth. He always said this, and I believe it is very true. We are the sum of our own decisions. At the end of the day, we are the sum of our own decisions. So whatever the decision I make, I saw it coming. Now I hear exactly what you're saying. If I was in a very, very hard, especially again, I go back on community. There's low income communities that they're only provided by, whether it's city or state, provided this is all they have to do. You only can do this, X, Y, and Z, right? But I will also say too, is that folks also have the opportunity to, and again, I might sound like a villain. People have the opportunity to better themselves. Now, I get it. It's not easy. It's never easy because life is not about being easy. But if I am in a state where it's like, okay, I'm okay, perfect example. If I'm in a small rural town, the only opportunity is probably factory worker, or maybe I might have opportunity to work at a convenience store, X, Y. So I understand it. I just think that, and again, I'm trying to play like be respectful here, but when maybe this is corny. Okay, maybe this is corny, but I'm gonna say it. Okay, the movie Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah. Pursuit of Happiness. That man was homeless. That man was pure homeless. Now he was extremely intelligent, right? He knew, and he was also in a very busy. He was in a city where opportunity was there. Now, if he was in a rural area, would we see the same outcome for him? We did it. But what I'm trying to say is, when your back's against the wall, when you're truly, truly hurting. And I'm not saying you can easily become a millionaire, but an opportunity to slightly come out of the gutter in a sense can be provided there. That's all I would say. I'm trying to be respectful because you're talking to a guy who's very involved in the community, and I've seen it firsthand. Where the opportunity is not provided for them because again, you have elected officials. And that's why I always talk about local politics is very important. People have to understand what goes on in your own backyard rather than just always focusing on a national level, because national happens, but that's spreading out of like 50 states, man. Whatever goes on in your backyard is like extremely important.
Oh, a lot of times I would look at someone and their current situation whenever I was younger, and I would be like, "Man, there is absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be, at the as CEO of Walmart or so. He must not be, he must not be working hard."
Mhm.
But now that I look back on that, I realize that that was a very biased look through, my own eyes, just kind of,
Mhm.
kind of engaging a transference on what, I thought that he was actually, capable of. But for a lot of folks, especially in these lower, like socioeconomic areas, it is really hard to like work to better yourself whenever you are never given access to like anyone being able to teach you the skills necessary to be able to kind of move over and better yourself. So like I think that that's one of my biggest pet peeves with having billionaires, is that
Mhm.
you can have like a very small select group of people have guaranteed success based on nothing more than just their money, while we have everybody else that is just like you said, that they are in our backyards and they are struggling right now. And I think that juxtaposition is quite
Well,
frankly
y'all
wrong.
can tell Adam and I, we're never gonna see eye to eye on this, but I'm gonna close this out. But I do want to finish. I do want to ask a final question.
Mhm.
Then does that go for every billionaire in the US? Like, I'm just saying, does every billionaire? That's my only thing. I can see saying a number of the billionaires, but like all of them, like it's just like because I mean, at that
Well,
point, I
oh,
feel like
okay.
it's like,
What billionaire do you want to save, Arrington?
I mean, Oprah, duh. I mean, who? Like, we're literally gonna say. I want to save Oprah. I want to save. Now, I'm not just naming all the black billionaires. I do know some white billionaires that are. I know
Way to
some white
turn it back
billionaires
on
that
me,
are good
man.
people.
Way to turn it back on
There's
me.
white billionaires that are good people. I love the white billionaires. I love them. They love me. All right, but but no, I just I just feel as though like all of them is just, I don't know, man. I feel like if you say all of them, people are just automatically saying, okay, look, it's no hope. Like, I mean, if you can continue, I don't know, man. I just feel like that's like a giving up on the reality. Like, there are people that have achieved where that's all I'm saying. Like,
Call me crazy, but $999 million is fine. I mean, come on.
and we're gonna move it on. Oh my god. See, y'all, this is why Adam and I had said we gotta start something. So yes, that's a perfect way to end that one. So I guess we all know that Adam does not like Elon, so we've learned that. Okay, boom. Moving on.
He is a welfare queen. Elon Musk is a welfare queen.
So next conversation we're gonna have, guys. I want to talk about the UFC Freedom 250 event. So now we all had spoken about how it had received some backlash because you have a cage fight happening on the south lawn of the White House. It was on the 250th year anniversary of the United States, and then it also happened to be on the 80th birthday of one individual by the name of Donald J. Trump. And so folks were like, what are we doing? Because as you mentioned, Adam, a while back, the last anniversary, I mean, I think Trump wanted to have a parade, or it was either price for his birthday or something. He wanted tanks, he wanted this, he wanted that. And it's like, okay, are we celebrating an individual, or are we celebrating actually like the country? Like, who is it? And I admit, I've watched not the whole, I maybe watched the first few fights of the UFC. I actually enjoyed watching UFC, but I watched the first few fights, and the initial like entrance was just like it just I mean, made me want to hurl, because you have this grand entrance of Dana White and Trump leaving the Oval Office, and I mean, cameras following them, they follow him, and then they head up on the top of the balcony, and I think you had the lead singer of the Zac Brown band who performed the national anthem. I mean, it was just it was a bit in the beginning, right? And you had a number of familiar faces that were in attendance. You had Triple H was there, Roman Reigns was in attendance.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know
Michael Irvin. Well, TKO is like in partnership, I believe, with like Dana White and like the UFC. So you had
never meet
Roman
your heroes.
Reigns. Hey, make sure you say your prayers and eat your vitamins. Anybody want to quote that one? But yeah, and call me the villain, damn it, right back at you. No, I'm joking. But you had I think Michael Irvin was in attendance, Jay Williams, Zuckerberg was out there, a billionaire. I think it was a CEO
Welfare
of a
queen.
crypto CEO of a crypto currency company. I mean, there was a number of folks there, and Melania Trump was there, which you rarely see Melania. Like, she was there, sporting a leather jacket around the shoulder. Like, ooh, she's going out tonight. Okay, haven't seen her. They flew her out of New York because she does not live at the White House. No, like, come on now. So yeah, she was there, and it was a spectacle, right? It was don't get me wrong, it was, as a fan of the sport, the UFC, it was a dope setup. I'll just be very honest. It was a dope setup. You had a number of our military, our heroes that were in the stands there, which, I mean, they deserve to show, to attend, great functions for what they do. But there were some controversial moments there. One individual, I'm not going to say his name. I could care less. I forget his name, but he had made a very insulting comment about former First Lady Michelle Obama, calling her a man on national TV, right? And laughing about it. No one stopped him. Even the president himself smirked about it, right? And when I think I saw a clip where TMZ had asked Bongino, out of all people, like, why? But Dan Bongino, he said, "Oh, it's funny. It was a joke. It was funny. It was a joke. Yada yada." Shane Gillis was in attendance. Shane was like, "I didn't think the joke was funny." Now, maybe Shane is a little hesitant because of the whole Kevin Hart roast thing. He's like saying, "Okay, I'm gonna get him. Gonna be on my best." No, it was not.
Yeah,
funny.
He's on thin ice right now.
He's on thin ice, man. But yeah, it was.
He gave himself a long rope to hang himself with.
It was. Yeah, the event occurred. Dana White said that this event will no longer happen because it was very expensive. But here's the thing, though. Taxpayers also had to pay for this because with the security and the setup, that was out of our money. Now, yes, did the UFC put up a good chunk? They did. It was their event. But the question is, with everything happening in our world, was this the right time to even have an event like this? Like, would there be any right time, even if the country was in a good state? Would that be? I guess that's the question I'll ask you, Adam. Do you think that would even be like a cool time?
No, I do not see an appropriate time for this. The only thing that Trump's attorney, so someone tried to force like an emergency injunction to stop the fight. The only thing that the Trump administration could argue as sort of a precedent was that George W. Bush let kids play T-ball on the South Lawn, maybe like during like an Easter or something. Like, that is the only thing even remotely close to to like a precedent. And to top it off, you have I think Bud Light, crypto exchange, like there were so many different like businesses and
Rumble,
companies,
of course,
yeah, being advertised on White House grounds, and the vision of impropriety there is too much to be able to ignore in the first place. Now, I haven't served in the armed forces, but I know one thing that I have seen a lot of veterans comment on in a very negative way is that they had active duty soldiers that were like standing at attention for the for the fighters to come in, and people thought that was very disrespectful to.
You're absolutely right. A lot of them had, some of them escorted, some of them opened the door for them. Like it was interesting. But in addition to that, so a few days after that, Kash Patel, FBI director, had acknowledged that there was a there was an attempt. There was actually an alleged terror plot against this event. To my understanding, let me see if I can pull up. I think I might have an article here from NBC News here. Okay, so I think if you all can see that there. So they have FBI arrests 5 in the alleged plot to attack White House UFC event with explosive laden drones and guns. Now, the one individual that I am looking on my site right now is a 19-year-old from Danville, Ohio, Tyson Proper, I believe the gentleman's name is. So his mom actually helped the police foil the plan of explosive drone attacks. So it's unfortunate that, I'll be honest, man, how many attempts have we just reported since? And I mean, and look, I don't wish harm on my worst enemy. I'm not a fan of Trump, but I'm not for political violence. But what is this, 4th or 5th?
It's enough times where I'm like, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Now, is this Trump? Now Trump is an extremely divisive person. And we are, in an environment that, at least in my lifetime, is, unprecedented. Very. That's the kind of the word du jour every single day. Like, oh man, this is an unprecedented day.
Very true.
So I don't know if the 4 or 5 attempts is more of a commentary on Trump's divisiveness, or is it more of a commentary on the on how gutted the Secret Service and the FBI, has become since Trump's come into office? You can't, there's a correlation there that I don't know necessarily if it's causation or not, but it seems like, one of those two things is probably true.
Yeah, it's like what kills me. So I was listening to, because I always love to see hear the perspective on both sides. So of course, if you tune into I'll just say Fox News, for example, they're going to say the left has been in charge of majority of the political violence, but majority of this violence is coming from the left, and you hear the opposite from coming from the left, being spoken towards the right. Here's why I look at it. I look at it as this. I could recall, excuse me about that. Oh, sorry about that. I could recall John Lennon. John Lennon was assassinated by a fan. Okay. There have been a number of people who have been either stalked or abused by folks considered as fans. So to say that all of these assassination attempts are people that are just anti their views, I'm not all the way gonna say that. I'm not always, and I'm not. This is not me trying to defend the left from the right, saying, "Oh, blame them." I look at it as both sides. It's just it's toxic in general, right? You have the political theater happening, in my opinion, from when I see rhetoric being spewed, because it gets so aggressive. Now, to agree with you, Trump is for sure by far one of the most divisive leaders that we've had in Washington. I will agree with that 110%. Hello, J6. Can we not? I mean, that's just one. That's just one thing. But J6 was a big deal. That was created by an individual who's now. And the reason why I say that, because this man wanted to compensate him. Remember, he wanted us to pay millions to compensate people that damaged property. So enough with all that. It's unfortunate though. This guy was 19 years old. I will say though, the violence need to stop. Do you think that politicians or elected officials do need to tone down certain, I don't know if it's wording or ways that they're trying to encourage people, how, why they should vote on this? Like, I don't know. Like, does somebody basically need to be the adult in the room is what I'm asking.
That's hard. It's a very difficult question, because ideally the answer is yes. You want to have an adult in the room. However, whenever you are dealing with a disingenuous group, the Republicans are not interested in reality or the truth. They're interested in whatever their next argument is going to be. And whenever you have a group that is dedicated to being apologists, you're not going to be able to have someone on the other side be like this, like truth teller or whatever. It's not going to work because they're just going to be constantly, like attack. And I've seen this thing where it's like both sides are responsible for the.
I hate when they say blame it on this side. I personally, I'm not a fan of that. Like I wouldn't even.
I mean, the overwhelming majority of violence is done by right wing folks. I mean, that's just science. That's statistics.
Oh no. I'm not disagreeing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so and then it also the rhetoric as well that the right uses, and what they kind of do is they'll say a very incendiary thing. People get really upset, and so then what they'll do is they'll kind of like back up into a corner and be like, oh no, y'all are just being defensive. This is wrong. Like and then the second they get a little bit of leeway, they come right back and then start spewing more and more vitriol. So I mean, yes. So like, could both sides help in like turning down the rhetoric? Perhaps, but there's got to be so many things that Republicans do before we can even have a good faith discussion that is kind of null and void.
For sure.
What do you think?
I want to add this as an example because it was brought up that is it Mangione, the gentleman that assassinated?
Yeah.
So that right there was I looked as good not good. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Ammunition for the right to spew and blame the left because Mangione, who was seen as he had a following to be of a hero to a guy who was a CEO of a healthcare company that had just went up and basically it affected a lot of people's health insurance, right? Health insurance premium. Yeah. And there were folks that looked at Mangione as a hero. Now, what I'm saying is the right is looking at Mangione or using Mangione as an example, saying, see the left. So that's where why I'm saying like it's always gonna be not. I don't look at the statistics saying okay who has more. I can easily say well the right has a lot more to explain because of J6. So I'm like I already can name a number of people that is already causing some violence. But I just think that there needs to have some form of like unity between the two parties to say, hey, look, Don, you got to quiet down. See, the thing is, you have so many scared and folks on the right that is saying, let him do it. Oh, that's just him. That's just Don. But I'm like, you do realize words do matter. Like words do have effect. And so that's my thing with the whole. I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding more like a Gandhi, and it's just like, oh, it's unrealistic now. But it's just like, I wish. I guess that's what I'm trying to go.
So I think it's kind of important to kind of show the distinction on what you're and what you're saying. So with the violence from the left wing, it's like accounts of like creators or something like that. It's like content creators. Whereas on the right, it's President Trump, Vice President Vance, Secretary Hegseth. It is the entire administration. So to try to equate the two is a bit. I think that I think it's.
Oh no, for sure. I'm saying though when I'm saying they will use that as like their ammunition because it's like okay, boom, this happened, and so whenever you like, for example, you say, well, majority of it has happened on the right. We're like, well, check this out. It's also happened from and look, we don't know what a lot of these folks' political views are.
We do know this guy who the 19-year-old or whatever that was just arrested. He was a far right wing a Christian extremist from a like very very like far off sect.
And see, and that's and that will never be said. That will never be shared on conservative media because they have they have to keep their way of keeping their side.
They have to keep their daddy happy.
There you go. Keep their daddy happy. Man, we are running so low on time. See, this is why it gets so good when we're talking. We're not gonna have. Oh man, let me see. Okay, really quick. This is gonna be the last conversation we're gonna talk about here. kind of on a lighter note, let's talk some sports. So the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena Williams, it was announced that will be making their return to Wimbledon as in doubles, teaming together, which we have not. I haven't seen that in years. In years. Serena Williams just came out of retirement after 4 years. Now Venus, to my understanding, has still been active. She has not retired, and I think Venus is the older sister. I'll be honest,
they're 2 years apart. I can't remember, like one's 46, one's 44, something like that.
Okay, so Serena is 44. So okay, bam. Okay. So okay, Venus is the older one. I have said it on my show. Personally, I'm like, Serena, you won everything. You won everything. Why do you have to be so greedy and win everything? Serena, you have made the money, you have made the success, you have literally won all the titles. Like, why at 44, after 4 years, you want to come back? Because you obviously you got to be successful outside. Most pro athletes are more successful post their playing career. So I was just like, man, why? But I'm like, hey, look, a lot of folks on social media respond by saying, why not? I'm like, and she has the right to. I'm just giving you my thought. If it was me and I was in the game for this long, and I'm 44 now, I'm on freaking, weight loss pill commercials and whatever. I'm chilling. I am chilling. I don't need to, compete against these young 19-year-olds. And man, these knees are not the same anymore, man. At 44.
No, I get that. And at first I was all gung-ho, and then I realized as you were setting that up, it was essentially me arguing against my billionaire argument from before if I would have done it. So it's like, you crafty little man.
I was waiting for you to catch that.
So what I don't know too much about the wild card system, but I do know apparently they Serena and Venus were added in as a wild card team. So I'm assuming there's only a certain number of wild card teams that get by, and then you have to qualify from other tournaments. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I will now be consistent with my argument and say that Serena should have stepped aside and given opportunity to other folks.
Hey, maybe a few of these tournaments, man, it might hit her to billionaire status. You never know. I'm just saying. Oh, that's right. Her, I think her husband might have been in attendance at the UFC event too. I could be mistaken, but I think he was, because he's the co-founder of some company. I can't remember it. And I'm looking at my time. Damn, I'm running low. But I guess the big news about the story is the fact that there are two sisters, 44, 46 years old, competing. Proving that age is just a number. And hey, they might turn around and do a few upsets. We will never know. We will see. That's what I'm saying. We will see. But my friends, look, we are literally have less than 60 seconds. Adam, as always, my friend, I truly appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. I know I want to chop it up with you a little more after this show. But y'all, Adam Tomlin, host of the Act Out podcast, please subscribe, follow, all that great stuff. Look, today was just a little glimpse of around the block. Again, different views, same neighborhood. As you see, we did not try and gouge each other's eyes out or anything like that. Maybe because that's why we're virtual right now. But no.
I was about to say, just wait till we get off get off screen.
This man's about to stone cold stunner me or something like it doesn't matter what you think. All right, my friends, as always, thank you for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Adam, I truly appreciate you, brother. Don't go anywhere. I do want to chop it up with you after the show, but I appreciate you as always.
Thanks, bud.
My friends, look, as always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay informed. It's midterm season. We got a lot of stuff happening. And I hope you enjoyed that conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I got to go. I'm tired after that whole convo with me and Adam. I am exhausted. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.